Well, well, well. What do we have here? Welcome back, y'all, to Rock and Roll Garage. Rudy here. These are some 454 SS Silverado, whatever, GMC wheels. A set of 5 that I got gifted to this Christmas. Thanks again, brother. Appreciate you. I got a bunch of stuff that we're going to try to clean these guys up because we got some rust pitting on here. This one is the worst one out of all of them. All these other ones I think are going to clean up pretty good. Stick that guy up there. I'll show you this one. This was definitely the spare, I'm guessing. It's got a big rust ring around here, but we are going to have center caps on there, so it should kind of take that up a bit. And let's turn him around. And you can see the back is smoked. I mean, you got rust there. So we'll probably get in here with like a type of scraper to scrape all that thick stuff out. I am gonna wire wheel this whole thing and see what we could do here. Worst case, obviously we're not gonna clean up heavy pitting like this. I would like to start with the worst wheel first, because then we can learn from this one as we're going. But this is obviously, this will stay as the spare tire. Realistically, what I could do, if I can't clean up the other wheels decently, I'll probably paint the inside of these black, because the fronts of these are in very good shape. You got a little bit of rust pitting here, but I think we can clean all that up with some stuff that I bought, and we'll go over some products and see how good they work. So I guess let's get started on the first one. I'm gonna start wire wheeling this thing and see what we come up with. I'll probably show you a little bit here and then show you the end result pretty much, because it's going to take a while. All right, y'all, realistically, I'm going to bring this guy up here on the bed of the truck, because leaning over on the ground for a very long extended period of time is going to kill me. And I got a mask, I got some gloves. When you're dealing with rust, guys, wear a mask. If it makes you look like a weenie, whatever, but I'm telling you, you don't want to be breathing that stuff in. Now, realistically, I might wear this for a couple, like 5 minutes. If it gets annoying, it's gone. This isn't your prime mask that you want, but at least it's something. You kind of want one of those respirator ones, but we ain't got no money like that. Let me get this wheel up here. One thing that I did get is this Rust Dissolve by Rust-Oleum. It's supposed to be like, it's like a gel. So I think the best thing I can do is get the thick stuff off, flaky stuff, because that's going to come off anyway, with the wire wheel. And then we're going to try this. Like I said, we'll try it on the worst wheel and see what happens. Maybe on the really good wheels we'll have to like mask the front off and stuff, but this realistically shouldn't hurt the face, because we're going to be polishing them and stuff and trying to get that rust off there anyway, off the face. I'm not going to use this right on the face, maybe in that center part of this one, but we'll kind of see what this thing does. And this is probably the worst one out of all of them, 100%. So start with the worst, because then the other ones may not seem as bad. All right, y'all, so this is kind of what we're getting here. It's kind of what we started with, which a lot of this will probably clean up, but I want to get down in here and get this thick stuff out of here. I think what I'm going to do is just go around this whole area, get as much of the thick stuff off as I can. I do have a couple wire brushes that I may be able to get in here with, and then try to get this part. And then I think I'm going to hit it with some water and degreaser, scrub it, and then you know, dry it off, and then use that, try that, see what we got pretty much, then use that rust dissolver and see what she does in here. But if you can see how like thick all this rust is right here, when I hit this with the wire wheel, that ain't bad, y'all. Like, we can live with that. So I have faith here. Gross. All right, y'all, I think we're gonna try to put a little bit of rust dissolver on a small spot here and see what she does. Jelly. Guess I should read the instructions first, huh? Move any oil or grease. Didn't do that. Or dirt from surface to be treated on heavily rusted surfaces. Remove loose rust particles with wire brush. We did that. Turn to spray. Is there a spray on here? No, it's just an on and off. Okay, so we may need a brush to spread this stuff. So as we let that sit, we're gonna come over to here to our other wheel, and you can obviously see we got a little bit of pitting, but nothing, you know, built up down in here. I think these are gonna clean up pretty solidly. So we'll get on these back faces, which aren't too important, but these are in much better shape than that spare. This probably was an Ohio truck, whatever these were on, so let's get at it, and I'll show you the end result. All right, so I don't know how much of this you guys are gonna be able to see, but I did get the rust dissolver in there, but it didn't really seem like it did too much right in the beginning. I didn't let it sit that long, but I think I got to get some of the, I kind of wiped it. It pulled rust off, but I think I got to degrease this thing and get like the rust powder out of this thing first, and then put the rust dissolver on it and see what it does then. All right, so we kind of got this back part clean. Still a little more junk in there really, but we're gonna save that for now. Like I said, this is the spare, so depending on how this cleans up, it's not too big of a deal. But I would like to wipe this wheel off and then kind of, one, get the water out of here, and then two, kind of go at this rust here and see what we can kind of get out of this. I feel that we'll be able to get this lip off, but then again, we want to try with this wheel first to, you know, because it's a spare. It's going to go up under the truck. It's not going to be that big of a deal. I think in the meantime, I'm going to pull that wheel off and degrease it just like I did this one, so that that thing can dry, and then when it dries, we can get the rust dissolving stuff on there. Realistically, you can use that stuff while the wheel's wet, but I think it'd be a little bit more potent if it was actually dry. So let's dry this up, steel wool it, and see what happens. I bought this steel wool from Harbor Freight, and it felt a little bit more like, how you say, coarser than the one I picked up at Home Depot. But like I said, I'd like to start here on the spare so that we don't mess it up. I'm gonna put just a little bit of water on here. You've seen that wire wheel kind of did wonders on the back, so we may grab that, but this looks like it's cleaning it up pretty good if we sat here forever. So now it kind of turns it from, you know, kind of a big rust spot into just a little hazy spot really. So I'm pretty confident in this. As long as I don't push too hard with this wire wheel, I can go around this whole lip and pretty much get them all done. So I'm gonna do that and then get this water out of this center lip and kind of see how it works down here. That's not bad. Because you can see how if you start to go really heavy on it, it'll start to pit it real hard. So you kind of want to just get the top layer off. Let's see if we get this water out of here. All right, a little bit out. So now, let's see what we can do to the center. Even if we don't get the middle perfect, that's all right. See what I'm saying? It's gonna be flaky. We already know that. But the centers of those, I think we can use steel wool on. This is so thick, and like I said, this is the spare. If we get a thick spot on one of those, we could try the wire wheel, but I think all the other ones are pretty good. Well, y'all, this is probably gonna be the best this is gonna be. I think we'll try to polish this guy up, but look at how this looks from before, especially on camera. Probably looks a lot better than it does in person, but for the way this thing looked, it's pretty good. We're still gonna flip her over and throw some you know, rust remover stuff on there and see what she does. But what we started with to what this is now is pretty freaking good. It gives me hope for these other ones, because you can see we don't have barely any pitting, really. I mean, that little stuff down there, we will use a steel wool on these because I don't want to get into the thing of, you know, taking off the chrome that's there, because all this is just kind of small little tiny pits, nothing too crazy big. So I think I'm gonna start hitting these little rust spots here on here with some steel wool and some wax, because that's what I've heard that'll help clean these up. And I'm just gonna try to keep it mainly in the actual like rusty spots, and then I'll show you what I'm gonna use for the rest of the wheel, and we'll see if it actually works. All right, that rust stuff kind of smells like rotten eggs. Oh, all right, well, that's a little bit of wax, more than we maybe need. It's gonna take a little bit of elbow grease, but we'll get these pits out of there. How much wax is too much wax? Because I don't know. Someone leave me a comment and tell me, because I'm just gonna lather her on there. So like I said, we want to kind of be careful with these ones, because they are the actual wheels that are going to go on the truck. So I don't want to use the wire wheel and just, you know, I'd rather be patient. Usually when stuff takes a little bit longer, when you work slower, it comes out better. So look how good that cleaned up already. I can't really even see any pitting at all. What we got here is some Never Dull. This is, I think, an old timer trick, but I've heard guys use it all the time, so we're gonna try it and see what she does. Comes in, which is kind of odd to me. I always thought this was like a liquid type stuff, unless this is really dry. But I guess you just peel off a piece of this. I don't know if it's like fiberglass with something in it. Maybe it's supposed to be wetter, and I don't know that, but it says rip off a piece, like so, I guess. Shove it in the can. I hope this isn't supposed to be wet, but it says you just go around and wipe it on down. It's supposed to make these shine. We'll see what she does here, huh? Never Dull. Ask your grandpa or maybe your uncle. They'll know about this stuff, I guess. All right, well, something new. See what this does here, though. Actually, looks pretty good. Didn't really take out the scratches, which I didn't think it would. But who knows? These scratches could have been in these wheels, you know. I'm not too sure. But I think I'm gonna do something. This stuff works pretty good. I'd say if it wasn't so pitted and stuff. But I am gonna try something else. This will be my first time trying this, so we'll see what happens. So I got this kit from Harbor Freight. It's got 3 separate pads in there with a couple things and this like Velcro pad. And I just put it in the drill because I don't want to use air and I don't have my air tank here. So I got some mag and aluminum polish. I'm pretty sure this will work for chrome also. I think you'd kind of call these mags also. So we're gonna kind of get some of this on here and polish this thing up. Looks like, I don't even know what this looks like. It smells good though. Oh yeah, we're gonna have way too much on our pad. I can already tell, just by the way that's spread. This is kind of, I think, like a heavier, coarser pad. We'll see what she does. I gotta grab a new microfiber. I don't know how much that did, but we're gonna see. I'm really new at this, guy, so I've never done anything like this, so we'll see what this stuff did, huh? Yeah, it looks like it got a decent amount of those scratches out of there. Somewhat, huh? This thing's shining, though. Very, very shiny. Man, this thing is shining. Dang, boy. You can almost see myself in that mug. Little scratchy, little scratchy. I wonder if that's because of the steel wool. I just can't remember where I really had it at, you know. But dang, it's kind of glossy there. I think what I'd like to try to do is use that heavier compound on here, because you're gonna have to go over this with the wax. I'd like to, at least, to try help keep water off of it and everything. But I think I'd like to try the heavier compound I have and see if that maybe get some of these scratches out. I'm gonna take you over here to kind of show you what these wheels kind of look like, just so I have like a reminder. But if you come and look, you can see that these are pretty heavily scratched already. So it's not really from us, I don't think. So that's good. But let's maybe try to see if we can actually get those out or not. This stuff smells good too. It smells like big red gum. I don't know what that's gonna do, but remember, guys, can't make them worse than they were. You know, anything is gonna be better than they were. Confidence, baby, confidence. And like I said, I don't know what the heck I'm doing here. I have seen stuff in the past of guys who've, you know, detailed cars and stuff, so I have a kind of an idea, but am I a detailer guy? Negative. It seemed like that helped a tiny bit the more I look at it. So I think what we're gonna have to do is go over again after we did that with our mag wheel compound and do that again, because that really made them shine, and then we'll do a thing of wax. Bang. Look at that. Much, much better. Here's the one we did. We could do a lot better. Got a little bit of cloth stuck in there. Looks pretty good. And I mean, that's the old one. So I like that a lot better. Now the thing what I'm not really hype about is how you can see the rust in between here. So my solution would be to like tape this all off and you know, kind of paint this in here black. I don't want to do the whole wheel, but if I have to, I will, because this rust, that stuff ain't gonna come off. I could be at that for hours and hours and hours and hours, and it ain't gonna come off. I guess we'll see what happens when we get this. We're gonna pretty much rinse this thing off now and kind of see what that gel stuff does and see if it did anything at all. Maybe it'll make me believe it, but personally, I didn't believe it. But I'm gonna hit it now and see what the heck happens. All right, I guess let's see what the heck happens. Yeah, so, I mean, it cleaned up all right, but not that well. There is some stuff that I have seen that you can spray, which may work out great in our favor. You can spray on rust like that, and it'll turn it black. So, you know, the wheel starts turning up here, and my thought is that if we can do that, you know, maybe tape off the front of here so we don't get anything on the top, on the face of this, and spray all this, because that gel stuff, to me, doesn't work that well. It's very hard to dissolve rust, from my experience, of what I found. But if we can get that stuff that we can spray on there and it turns it, like it converts the rust into like a hardened, whatever it does, science, then that'll work out perfectly for the inside of here. because then we won't really have to spray it, you know, because this is going to be all right. It's not going to, you know, you got some stuff here where that might turn into something else later on in the future, but if you take care of them and clean them and keep them clean, they'll last for a good amount of time. And I have to unfortunately order that stuff, but I think that's going to work out pretty well. Well, a little 50-degree day out here. Can't complain in December. I think somebody's burning a Christmas tree somewhere over there. It smells pretty freaking good. But anyway, so I ended up finding this stuff, and Sleeper Dude actually was using this stuff, and that's how I seen it, because I watch every one of his videos. And I got this stuff at Ace Hardware. I did have to drive to a different one, not my local one, but I have seen him spray this on rusty floor, like pieces of floorboard, and it almost like it turns it into like a, it says it on here, iron oxidized. So like I think it kind of turns it black from what I can remember watching the video. So I got some in a spray bottle here, and we are gonna, because this is what the kind of the wheel looks like after I grinded it down and let it sit for a day, dried it off. This is grinding, and then degreaser, grinding again, well, wire wheeling at least. So I'm gonna do the spare because I'm a little bit nervous about the face. So I think my plan is to spray it back here and then turn this around and spray this off and clean it so it's not sitting on here and messing up the finish. I'm gonna set you guys up and we're gonna spray this stuff on. It takes 24 hours, so we're not gonna be able to see results until tomorrow probably. So let's do that. So I got this in more of like a spray, not like a straight shot. Kind of spray this on here lightly. It kind of says you don't need to like really overdo it, so kind of everything's coated in here. So let's spin this guy around. We didn't get too much on the face, but I'm gonna still spray it off, spray a rag and wipe it off of there. So y'all, I'm gonna let that sit for 24 hours like I want you to. And then I've got 3 other wheels that I gotta grind down on. So I'd like to do all of them today. Grind them, clean them, grind them, clean them. At least 2 separate times per each wheel to try to get the thick stuff off. I wanted to do that all yesterday, but like I said, it was a little bit chilly, so I'm gonna go change because I'm in my running around clothes. I'll put some junky clothes on because that rust is gonna go everywhere. Remember, wear your masks, y'all. So I'll probably see y'all tomorrow when this thing is done, and we'll see what happens. All right, y'all. 50-some degrees in December. Gotta take advantage of it. So I got all these, not all of these taped up, but pretty much I kind of just went to this point and taped all the front, all the holes. I thought I was like thinking I was gonna have to tape this whole thing, but I didn't. Just taped over the hole so the paint doesn't blast through. I am using this Rust-Oleum stuff, the satin, not like a gloss. I don't know how good it's gonna do on wheels, but you know, we're always about everything's gonna be better than it was, because it's definitely better than it was. You can see how much of the rust thick stuff we kind of got out of here. Looks pretty good. It could leave it like this, but then again, here you can still see the rust in between these holes. So you can kind of see these are all painted. And this again over here is the worst one out of all of them. And you can kind of see this thing being on the car, it'll probably, you know, you'll be away from it. At least the bottom will be black. A little bit further away, it'll be good. This is, like I said, the worst one out of all of them because it's a spare. Just sat under the truck the whole time. So I got these 2 drying. I'm gonna hit this one. I have to tape that one. But that's the one I waxed, and it's gonna be a pain because tape doesn't want to stick to freshly waxed stuff. So I'll have to mess around with that. But that was the same thing on this one because we had a coat of wax on there and it didn't leak through or anything. That was all I was kind of worried about, was the paint leaking through. But realistically, we have to polish all of these anyway. So we'll get the paint off with like steel wool or something like that. So I'm gonna blast these and we'll see how they turn out. Like I said, I was really worried about the inside barrel here. like in behind there. So that's where I really tried to go heavy with it at, just so that paint kind of grabs, because I'm not blasting from like right at it, you know. So I tried to stay heavy on there. And I'll see you when I get these all done and pull the tape off them. All right, so I guess let's pull this tape off. These are definitely still wet, so whatever. One nice pull, right? Yeah, right. Yeah, see, that's what I was afraid of. Missing that inside barrel. I might not have went heavy enough on this one. Which kind of stinks. And I got some paint here. Very nice. Yeah, see, that's what I was kind of talking about, was this inside barrel here where I can't get the paint down in there. You know, it could get down in there. A paintbrush. That might be what we do. I got pretty good in those ones. So, this is why you do testing. You can see that the black's all down in there on here. So maybe this one I didn't hit that as heavy. We could pull this one off too, because I'm only doing 2 coats on these things. Yep. See, I missed it a little bit. But then again, I still believe this looks better than it did. Like, from back here, it don't look that bad, especially on that one. But I'll probably go buy, they sell caliper paint where you can paint it on a caliper that comes with a brush and everything like that. So we'll probably go buy that. Be careful on here and kind of just go in here and swipe each one of these, and then it'll be good. So at least we know now, but realistically, that paint needs like that helps with that, getting that barrel and everything pretty decently. So maybe I'll try to spray harder with this one and really get it up in there, but I don't think that's going to do it. But we still needed to paint that whole back barrel part because it was full of rust. So works out somewhat okay. Not the greatest, but hey, what do you expect? So I'll see you guys probably after I get these things polished, because I think I already showed you that process. So we'll probably see you honestly at the truck, getting them on there and seeing how they look. Hopefully it'll still be warm out. See you then. Whoo boy. Wintertime in Ohio, people. It's rough. We got about a foot of snow. It's been a couple weeks. And literally like temperatures in the teens. Rough to be working outside doing anything, at least in a non-heated garage, but we're here now. We got a nice 39-degree day, so I'm gonna get after it. But we got these 454 SS wheels cleaned up pretty good, at least better than they were, that's for sure. I brought 2 over here because I want to put 2 on the passenger side just to see how this thing looks with these on. Because in my opinion, the passenger side is the best side on this truck. Door closes right, all that kind of stuff. We got some center caps. I love these black center caps. Perfect. Shout out to my buddy who got me these wheels. Sent me that link for those. Those cleaned up pretty good. We got some cleaned up, you know, lug nut covers or whatever. So I'm gonna get after it and pop these guys on there. All right, let's get this guy off. I already did the front. How many times do you need to see a wheel come off and on, right? Shove that over there. I'll hit the camera. Thank you. Roll this sucker up on there. Oh yeah. Get it on there before I give myself a hernia or something here. Frick dang, y'all. Looking pretty good. I want to get the center caps on and then we're going to roll her out and see how she looks. dang, brother. Man, does she look freaking good. These wheels, if you could see these in person, they are just popping, dude. The sun's gonna glare in my face over here, but whew, this is really giving me the 454 SS vibes. Oh, you guys should see it in person. It's freaking awesome. They look so good. They cleaned up so good, man. It made this truck different, dude. Like, look at these stock boys. You guys seen the stock boys? Like these guys, whew, work truck city. But with these on there, god dang. So y'all, realistically, what I am going with this thing is kind of, or how I'm going with it, is I really liked the 454 SS. It's just what I like. I would like to lower this, but I'm gonna tell you right now, the pitch of this driveway and the way this looks, whew, it's doing something to me. But man, so that's why I got the dash out, because one, the dash was just destroyed. If you guys go back in the previous videos, you can see how bad the dash actually was. I mean, when I was pulling it out, I was pulling chunks out. Like, there's not even any top left in this thing. Like, this is where the top was. There's no top left. So I have almost all maroon interior. I don't have a maroon headliner. I'm missing one side B-pillar, the back wall panel piece. I think a kick plate like below the door. But yeah, I mean, this interior was hammered. So the carpet, we're gonna have to get carpet. I have door panels, kick panels, A-pillars. I have everything. Like I said, maroon dash. I have a maroon seat. This is the style seat that I would like to try to find in maroon with a little armrest on the side, or there. This guy had buckets, but the bucket mounting is different, I guess, from like an extended cab. Well, it wasn't bucket, it was like a 60-40 split. And I guess the mounting, it was out of extended cab, the mounting is different. So the bodies must obviously be different. But man, this thing with these 454 boys on them just totally changes it. Now, the thing I found out about these center caps is they've got these little like clips on them, or spring tang pieces in them, and it looks like the lug nuts just kind of push against those, and so they're kind of a pain to put on, because you got to put the wheel cover on and then thread the things through them. But it looks like it pushes against them, so you don't need the lug nut covers. So if I can maybe find black lug nuts like this, and or just brand new ones to look better, because see how these are? They're kind of like poking out of the wheel. They're not really supposed to be like that. I just put them on there just so you guys can see and understand what I'm talking about, because these are for more like this center cap piece, this style. And if I could find these in black, very nice shape, I would like that. Whatever. And just put the Chevy logo in the middle, because these, I just bought these off eBay for like 15 bucks, these like vinyl or emblems or whatever. So these aren't really supposed to be on there, but I like the look of those a lot better. They look a little bit more base. There's not like no contour to them really or anything. Like this one's just kind of fat. This is probably more what you want for this, but I don't know. If I could find those in black, maybe I'll buy them. We'll see. I'll do some hunting, whatever. Just make it look better. But man, this thing is looking great, dude, with these wheels on it. So I'm gonna get a couple flicks with the phone, do a little walk around and stuff like that so you guys can really see it, because I think my phone will pick it up better. I just can't see on this GoPro too good. But we're headed in the right direction. So hopefully here soon, you guys know how that GM plastic is. It don't like that cold, especially from the 90s. So we're gonna have to try to maybe wait on that. I would like to get the rest of this interior out and cleaned up, clean the inside. I want to dynamat the inside badly. So maybe we'll do a separate video on that and getting the rest of this out. And I have a part on getting the dash out, so you'll see that. We'll get the rest of the interior out, maybe mess with the door panels. We get the door panels on and stuff. But I want to get that dash in there once it starts to get warmer out. I want to get a lowering kit for this thing bad, but man, I'm telling you, the stance of this thing right now, I just stepped on a bag, is freaking awesome. So I'm pretty ecstatic, y'all. Shout out to my buddy Marco. Thank you so much, man. I can't put into words how much I appreciate it. This really changed this truck, and I am pumped. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I surely did, because this looks awesome. leave a like, leave a comment on what else you'd like to see, or what you think about this, or the route I'm going, or maybe give me some ideas and stuff. And hopefully we get some warm weather soon so we can have this baby hit 400,000 miles. Because looking like this right now, ooh, man, it totally changes it. Hit that subscribe button for me, baby. We're still growing. We're still going. Let's get it up there, guys. So for now, take it easy.